All right. Welcome back. Back already. It looks like we've been hit with another wave of articles, another wave of stories. Several articles that surfaced today actually took place a few days ago. Now, maybe I missed it, but a 13-year-old had her face bitten by a dog, and I don't know if this is the actual dog. I'm pretty sure that it's very similar, if not exactly like this dog. They usually give a description of the dog. They'll say it was a bully breed, pit bull, bulldog, and they'll give the color. And then the journalists will go look for a photo of a similar dog. But look at this thing. It upsets me that people even enjoy laying eyes on these things, on these monstrous looking creatures from hell. I had somebody in the comment section say that dogs make facial expressions and they look like people from hell. It's exactly what they look like. Soulless, monstrous, unsightly, heartless mutants from the hell, from the pits of hell. And I hate that people love these things. It really irks me that people love these things. Based on the looks alone, there's nothing attractive about the way these things look. But when you factor in behavior like this, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Nobody should be allowed to own these things. They should be banned and exterminated. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream. A girl, 13 years old, in the hospital with serious injuries after a dog off its leash jumped up and bit her face. 13-year-old, serious facial injuries. So this girl was minding her business as always. Now, these types of stories have to be reported on because it always needs to be pointed out that they were unprovoked. In each dog attack story, I'm going to deal with whether or not it was provoked, because these behaviorists insist that they're always provoked. And I've been arguing that they are always lying when they say that. Okay, happened around 3 p.m. Yeah, a black Staffordshire Bull Terrier. So it looks like this hideous, monstrous, unsightly mutt. And they look so dumb. It infuriates me how dumb they look. Just totally brainless and soulless. What do you see in these things? I mean, the very fact that you would want something like this lets me know you're not quite there. You have a few screws loose. The whole point in having a pet is that it looks adorable. It looks cuddly. It looks cute. That's the whole point in having a pet. If it's unsightly, what are you owning it for? This would infuriate me even if the dog didn't have teeth, even if it was a herbivore, even if it didn't attack people. I would be disturbed at people who would want to own these monstrous looking mutated rats. I wish it was up to me whether or not these things ate, because they wouldn't eat at all. If it was up to me, there's no way I would spend a penny on dog food to feed these things, they would starve. They would starve, and I would not care not one bit. So this girl was minding her business. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Minding her business. I think she walked into a field. See how it says it happened as the girl entered in the field between Webb Close and Kirkcaldy. All my UK people, you may be familiar with this location. Webb Close, and I know I'm pronouncing this wrong. Kirkcaldy or Kirkcaldy. In the town with her mother. So they all walked into this open field. And the dog was off leash. And what have I said? What do I say? When a dog is off leash, we all know an attack is about to happen. Dogs, and only dogs, need to be restrained at all times. Why? Because dogs attack for no reason. They attack unprovoked. This is why it infuriates me when people, behaviorists, veterinarians say that dogs are always provoked by something. It infuriates me because everybody knows that's a lie. Everybody knows that dogs attack unprovoked. That's why you have to restrain them nonstop. It is our knowledge that they attack unprovoked that prompts people to implement laws that you have to restrain them. You have to keep them tied up at all times. So don't try to insult our intelligence. Don't try to lie to us. They do attack unprovoked. I have to stay on these people's neck about that narrative because it comes from their so-called experts that they're always provoked and that they never attack for no reason. That is an outright disgusting lie. The dog was off leash at the time it approached the young girl. Girl is now in the hospital being treated for serious facial injuries. The dog owner is described as a white man with red, messy hair. He was wearing a light blue t-shirt and dark shorts. He left the scene with the dog, and officers are now trying to trace him. Okay, let me give another description of what this man looks like. All my UK people, be on the lookout for a little dirty scumbag that fits this description. He's described as a white man with red, messy hair. It's unfortunate that they didn't give the guy's physical appearance, whether he was heavy set, whether he's skinny or whatever, tall, short. Red, messy hair. He was wearing a light blue t-shirt and dark shorts. He left the scene with the dog, and officers are now trying to trace him. Here you go again. These people are always trying to project themselves as the moral leaders of society, but yet virtually all of them, after their dog attacks someone, they leave the scene. We've seen videos where they did not hesitate, didn't think twice. As soon as their dog attacked someone, they left the scene. Speaks to the character, the typical character of these people, and it makes sense. Trash people own trash dogs. And yes, you're trash. You're a piece of trash. You're gonna leave after a 13-year-old girl had her face bitten. It bit her nose just for no reason. They said it just walked up to her, jumped up, and bit her face. Detective Sergeant Michael Ball, who is leading the investigation, said it's believed the man and his dog are well known in the area. Okay, that's a good piece of information. Well known in the area. And I believe they're talking about Webb Close and Kirkcaldy. Okay. Now, actually, now what is this? Okay. The attack happened in Letchworth. Letchworth. And the specific location was a field between Webb Close and Kirkby. Okay, so anybody lives out in that area, please be on the lookout for a dirt bag with a black pit bull. Okay, well known in the area, and I can believe that. These people typically like to draw attention to themselves. They like to make a spectacle, you know, make a scene, cause a scene. And officers are appealing to anyone who saw the incident or who knows the owner. Get in touch with the police officers as soon as possible. Horrible story. And once again, as always, unprovoked. These attacks are always unprovoked. I saw this other story. There's quite a few stories that surfaced here recently. This is another article on the story. How many of you keeping up with the news here? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Yeah, that video that I shared about the 2-year-old, I'm going to deal with that in the members area. I want to be real careful with that, because they actually have video footage of the attack, but it's sort of blurred out, and I'm still, you know, uneasy about showing it. Dogs attack owner. They're on the loose in Hampden. Attack their own owner. Like I always say, if they're going to attack anybody, it should be their owner. You should have to pay the price because you made the decision to own it. Back in the area, police, and of course, they were pit bulls. Attacked their owner on Saturday, and they were on the loose. Both dogs have been located Saturday afternoon. You know, why wait around for stuff like this to happen? This is what I don't like. Let's stop waiting around for another story like this to surface. We should just round up all pit bulls and euthanize them. Just get it over with. There's another story. Wait a minute. Can y'all see this? I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, people. Yeah, here's the article. Somebody was attacked by their own mutt. Good. That's what you get. And it didn't attack anybody else. Good. Dog owner charged in deadly Northeast Harris County dog attack. Okay, now this is very unfortunate. Somebody died.
First saw here on ABC 13 after a man was mauled by dogs that escaped their backyard.
Yeah, that man has since died from his injuries, and the owner of the dogs is now charged in his death. ABC 13's Jessica Willey broke this story. And what have we learned about these new developments, Jessica?
Yeah, Gina, the owner of the dogs is now charged with a second-degree felony, punishable up to 20 years if convicted. We know several neighbors came forward, telling investigators the dogs got out often leading up to this deadly attack.
That's terrible to get mauled that bad by dogs.
Neighbors still real.
You think? Oh, how embarrassing. Now, this is a different story. I know some people might be thinking about that story that surfaced, a few days ago about a man who died. He was attacked and then he died like a week later. This is a different one.
Reeling from the vicious attack on longtime resident Nicholas Vasquez. His initial injuries.
No, this is him. This is him. I'm sorry. This is him. So this media outlet is late reporting this story.
Severe. His legs from the knee down were amputated.
Okay. He was mutilated sort of like Kylie Waltman. Had to get his legs amputated. It's because all the bacteria and germs inside the dog's mouth. When they bite, that saliva, you're infected, you're going to need your limbs amputated. Dogs are extremely dangerous. We need to stop playing games. This is a serious situation. They all need to be rounded up and euthanized.
Days later, he died.
I'd liken that to some of the things I saw in Vietnam.
Calvin Stoy found Vasquez moaning in the ditch the night of June 9th. Now, more than 2 weeks later, the owner of the 3 dogs involved has been charged.
I think that's exactly right. The man lost his life over it.
According to court records, a warrant has been issued for the arrest of Matthew Satchel, his house right across the street from where Vasquez was attacked. Residents tell ABC 13 the dogs long terrorized this Huffman neighborhood. They're scheduled to be
terrorized the neighborhood. What have I been saying? What have we been saying? Dogs terrorize entire neighborhoods. This is why I'm very reluctant to get a home. But it doesn't matter. Even being in an apartment complex, there ain't no dog around here gonna terrorize this community. I mean, it's not gonna happen. And people need to stop sitting back allowing people like this in the community. If they want to let their dogs run around off leash, then someone should take the dogs off their hands. They shouldn't be an owner of a dog, period. But if you want to let them run around the community, you should have to pay a price for that. We got to stop letting these people bully entire communities. It don't make no sense. You can have one dog nut on the block and have everybody in the whole neighborhood terrified.
Euthanized Satchel has been charged with felony dog attack.
We are alleging he failed to negligently failed to secure his animals, which resulted in the death of the complainant.
Failed to secure his dogs. She said animals. You can never secure dogs because they manipulate restraints and barriers. And that is why they should be illegal to own. I don't want to hear nothing about no responsible owner securing a mutt.
In this case,
Lindsey Bondurant is the chief of the animal cruelty section at the Harris County District Attorney.
Chief of the animal cruelty section? Why are you even talking? We don't want to hear from no dog nutter. I really hate this. We're supposed to have opponents of dogs talking right now. Not no nutter.
His office. The key, she says, is the issue of negligence. The allegations are that the dogs roamed free.
Ugh. The dogs roamed free.
Vasquez suffered.
Man. Look at these goofy, dumb-looking, unsightly mutants from hell. I just don't get it. What do people see in these things? Unbelievable.
So that the dogs roamed free. Vasquez suffered the consequences, and Satchel is being held accountable.
the message is that you're responsible for the conduct of your dogs. If you are not,
No, if you own these things, you deserve to be punished. Even if they don't attack anyone. For you to be so reckless and irresponsible to be in possession of these things, you deserve to be punished. It is just ignorant to only hold these people accountable after the dogs actually kill someone or mutilate someone. We all know what they're capable of. People should get punished just for owning them.
not properly restraining them. So if your dog attacks
If you need to restrain a so-called pet, then that's not a pet. It's not fit to be a pet. It does not fit the description of a pet. True pets don't need to be restrained. That is a description of something that needs to be exterminated. And there's no way around that.
Someone in the severe manner that they did here, you will be held responsible if there's something.
See, this is a nutter. And this is the type of thing that nutters say. They pulled her on here just to regurgitate nutter narratives. It's infuriating. Shut up. Go back to your little hole somewhere. We don't want to hear from you. Now what? When was this? This surfaced yesterday. And I think there's another one here. Person flown to the hospital following dog attack in Fayette County. Now, is this the same one? Let me see.
State police say that a pit bull attacked a man at a home in Fayette County this morning. He had to be flown to a local trauma center. And troopers say that the dog lived at the home with the victim.
What we know is that a pit bull did attack him. We do believe that it is his pit bull and that he is a 37-year-old male that was attacked by this pit bull.
Dog mauled the back of his head. They are attempting at this time to control the bleeding.
First responders over the radio this morning shortly after a pit bull attack.
The pit bull is locked in the garage at this time.
State police in Uniontown say troopers went to help emergency responders at a home along Center Street in Dickerson Run just after 5:15 a.m. When they arrived, state police say the victim, a 37-year-old man, was life-flighted from the scene.
He was conscious and alert, but he did need life-flighted to the local trauma center.
Troopers say it was an
What?
unprovoked bite.
Unprovoked? Huh?
Life-flighted to the local trauma center.
Troopers say it was an unprovoked bite. They believe that this was a household dog and the man lived at the home.
He will get the help he needs at that trauma center, and also the dog, animal control will take over as far as the dog goes.
Now, how is that possible? Dogs love their owners. Why would they attack their owners? They attack their owners all the time. Because dogs are incapable of love. They don't love, they can't love. All you have is a bunch of brain dead people who pretend that the dog loves them. That's a big reason I get so infuriated with these people. They want to make believe and risk everybody's life pretending.
Goes.
We reached out to Animal Control in Dunbar Township to find out what's next for this pit bull, and we'll be sure to pass along
What do you mean, what's next? Kill it. What's next? They might rehome it. You know, all you dog owners. Now, you owners of pit bulls, you know this very well. Dogs, especially pit bulls, in order to prevent something like this from happening, the best option for you is to use violence. Use violence because that is what dogs do to each other. Dogs are so dumb, the only thing they understand is eating and fighting. So when you get a dog pack, they're constantly fighting, trying to establish the hierarchy. So all of you nutters who like to hug and kiss on your dogs and treat them like a lover or whatever, you're at the highest risk of being attacked. That is why many of these dog lovers, whenever the dog does anything, if it walks ahead of them, they say you're not supposed to let a dog walk ahead of you. If the dog walks ahead of them, they physically beat the dog. The dog does anything. If the dog even slightly tries to play the role of the leader of the pack, they beat the dog. Sometimes severely. And that's the only thing dogs understand. They're just that dumb. You can't raise them with love. They're going to eventually attack you. That is when chances are at the highest that they attack you. When you want to raise them with kisses and hugs. Dogs are violent creatures. They communicate using violence. They establish hierarchy using violence. So in other words, if you want them to respect you, you have to get them to fear you. What did that other behavior say? He said to have an obedient dog is to have a dog that fears you. They have to fear you. And simple question, why would you want something like that? Why would you want something where in order to reduce chances that it attacks you, you got to constantly beat it, hit it? Many of these dog behaviorists, that's exactly what they do to trained dogs. We've seen some of them on camera. Remember that guy who picked a dog up, slammed it so hard, broke the dog's legs? These behaviorists know full well that that's the true way to train them and to keep them from attacking you. So again, if you own something that deranged, that subhuman, you should be punished just for owning it. I mean, there's just nothing to talk about. And of course, I don't know how many of you have seen the actual video, but there's actually a video of a 2-year-old who's attacked. I shared a video in the community section. It does not show the actual attack. Once the attack happened, they blur it out like so much you can't see anything. But it is a very terrifying video. It's very disturbing. The child was not doing anything. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can tiptoe around it. I'm not going to play the actual attack. Okay, I'm going to just play something. And right before the attack, I'm going to stop the video. And it doesn't even show it anyways. But I just want to illustrate, I want to show you that these things are never, ever, ever provoked.
2-year-old boy.
They always attack unprovoked. Just like dogs will attack a smaller dog. In the dog's mind, they just see a prey animal. That's why they should be illegal. It's instinct for dogs to view kids as prey animals, as something that they should attack, not because they're hungry, but just to kill, just to attack. Dogs are the only creatures on earth that kill for sport. Dogs kill for sport. Now, let me pause this. All of you dog behaviorists, veterinarians, and others who insist that the main reason dogs attack kids is because kids do something to provoke them. Explain to all of us what this child did. Just standing there. And out comes the dog. The attack is so graphic that they had to blur it out. And they said the dog was mauling this 2-year-old for about 4 minutes. The 2-year-old suffered a broken jaw. And that's a typical injury. A lot of people might wonder, why is it that the kids always get their jaw broken? Right? I mean, it's like every single attack, the child's jaw is broken. That is because the dogs usually attack the child's face. And their teeth will sink into the jawbone, into the hollow area. And when the dog starts to shake, the jaw gets broken. The jaw gets broken. Now, like I said, there's a video that I shared in the community section. Okay, what do I do with it here? And it's actually from the Thailand media outlet.
มันที่ไหนเขาบอกพิกัดอยู่ที่ชลบุรีหนูน้อยโดนหมาขย่ำขอดูภาพที่1ก่อนเป็นนาทีที่หนูน้อยเนี่ยกำลังเดินอยู่แล้วหลังจากนั้นมันมีหมาเนี่ยนะ
I know a lot of people follow my channel from various countries. If you're from Thailand, you speak Thai, and you hear something that maybe we should know, I hope you fill us in on what's being said here.
โจรจากด้านหลังแล้วขย่ำน้องเดี๋ยวดูดีๆนะฮะน้องคือคนไหนคนเจ็บ
ชุดขาวค่ะ
ชุดขาว
ตัวเล็กๆนี่แหละ
ก็เดินกับผู้ใหญ่อะดิ
ใช่
แล้วยังไง
แต่น้องเสื้อดำเนี่ยเหมือนจะเห็นหมาก่อน
อ้าวเหรอ
นี่แล้วก็ตัวเล็ก
So when this dog starts to attack this boy, they actually blur it out like real bad. Here's part of the attack where it's like totally blurred out. But the dog went for the smaller child. There was 2 kids there. And like the little cowardly, demonic dirtbags that dogs are, it opted to attack the smallest child. All of you adults out there, if you don't take anything else from this channel, I want you to take the fact that you are not living in Wonderland. This was a nanny. You are not living in heaven. You're living where there are deadly creatures everywhere. And they stopped and saw that dog was barking at them before it attacked. Whenever you spot a dog, adults, you pick the kids up. You have no business allowing toddlers to walk around on the ground after you have spotted a dog. If you don't do nothing else, pick them up. Put them on your shoulders. And the bad part is that once this dog started to attack this boy, she was trying to fight the dog off in the most pathetic, worthless, and ineffective way. She was trying to fight it off like a scared individual. Trying to fight it off and trying to stay away from it at the same time. Y'all go check out the video for yourself. She was trying to fight it off, and she was being terrified by it at the same time. So you can imagine how worthless of a counterattack it was. Again, stop allowing toddlers to walk after you spotted a dog. We have seen that far too many times. You're not dealing with Scooby-Doo. That's what it's so infuriating, because the average person looks at dogs as harmless, even though they know that they're deadly. Well, yeah, but it's not supposed to attack. Yeah, it's a dog. Yeah, it's barking, but the dog is not that mean to where it'll just come attack. I don't know what type of delusional mind state the average person is carrying around nowadays, but you need to snap out of it. We are in a war, and you need to act like it. Do not let toddlers walk after you spotted a dog in the vicinity. And, as always, for you behaviorists, for you veterinarians, all of you sick lunatics who insist that dogs are always provoked, once again, as always, this dog was unprovoked. Spotted the child and ran towards the child and started to maul the child. My goodness. How can these people make so many articles and videos saying that dogs are always provoked? How can they make so many articles and videos and not suffer any backlash? It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that they don't get called out for this nonsense. Shout out to Charles D. Curry in the super chat. Big shout out to Charles D. Curry. I say it time and time again, with beautiful women that we can't deal. I heard women say that their dogs come before their husband. Wow. Wow. I haven't even heard that one. Their dogs come before their husband. And you can, as we all know, many of them feel like their dog comes before their children. Dog come before them. Y'all heard stories where a person who was broke spent their last amount of money to get dog food rather than food for themselves. It's a real obsession. It's just like a drug addiction, where an addict will spend their last bit of money on drugs rather than food. Very sick obsession. And shout out to somebody else in the super chat as well. My apologies, I missed it. And shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream. It's more like a news update where I share recent stories and give my 2 cents on the report. Gerard the King, We Hate Dogs in the building. Make sure y'all check out We Hate Dogs. Is a content creator here on this channel. Bronze in the building. ABQ girl, thank you for joining us. Lisa, Sylvia, Anti-Mutt Nutter, shout out to you. ABQ, Crunchinator, Google user. Yeah, is it Lisa M? Good to see you as well. Kenny, Jean, good to see you as well. So crazy. Louise, Mr. Prang, it's so crazy that I would not even allow a dog around strangers that I don't know. Strangers who I don't even know. If I were a dog owner, I would not allow my dog to be off leash around people I don't even know. But these people will allow their dog unleashed around their own family members, their own biological children. I will never wrap my head around that. Flumsy, I hate cars. All right, dancing on dog graves. Sibby, Buster in the building. Very disturbing stuff here, man. And it's frustrating. I know a lot of you can feel and hear and sense my frustration. Frustrated that I can't do anything. I can't punish these people. That's very frustrating that I can't do anything. All I can do is report on it. Because these people deserve to be punished. The owners deserve to be punished just for owning them. And when the dogs attack, these people deserve to be punished. They should be ostracized and all of that. I think I used this photo for the thumbnail. You can clearly see the dog went after the smallest child, and you can see the adult here. You see her? Here, let me blow this image up here. She was terrified. And this is the thing. Why would you own something where if it decided to attack, you would be so terrified that you wouldn't be able to fight off the attack? What kind of sense does that make? Epic footage and a classic where that girl was attacked by a dog. She was sitting up there having a cup of tea with the dog. And then she had to crawl into an elevator. You see how this adult here, she was sitting there swatting the dog, fighting like she was terrified, which she was. And so if an adult is going to respond to an attack like this, what good is supervision? Oh, make sure there's an adult around so it can be supervision. For what? For what? Here, let me switch my screen so y'all can see that. If the adult is going to be this terrified, why have him around at all? What's the purpose? The dogs just shouldn't be around. You clearly see this woman was terrified during this attack. And I just want to show once again this horrible, horrible attack. Y'all remember this. Here, let me switch my screen. Where this silly girl was inside of an apartment by herself with a pit bull. And the pit bull started to attack her. And she had to crawl into an elevator. So they say you should always have supervision. Okay, here's the adult who would have been supervising, getting mutilated, totally helpless. Supervision is worthless. It's useless. Here's the woman. What in the world were you doing alone inside of an apartment with a pit bull? These people are absolutely brainwashed. They're absolutely out of their minds. I believe the general public will wake up from this stupor. It's only a matter of time, but I fear they're going to wake up slowly. Be that as it may, I'm honored and humbled to take part or help people to wake up. Stay safe out there, people. When you see a dog, you got kids, pick them up. Pick them up and don't take your eyes off the dogs. Okay? Keep something on you. Gun, knife, taser, pepper. Something is better than nothing. Don't be like this nanny and you're walking, you're babysitting, and you're walking around outside with absolutely no weapon, nothing to protect yourself or the kid you're babysitting, don't do that. I've said that even if you're by yourself, you need to be armed at all times. But especially if you got kids or if you're babysitting, you better have something on you to stay safe and stay clean. And I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.